Good day, beautiful people. We are very excited to have our latest guest on here. My name is Renee, Paige, and I will be your host for Leading Ladies. Joe?
Hi, ladies. Good morning. Well, afternoon for some of you, and evening for some of you as well. It's a pleasure being here. Hi,
yes,
there.
It is. So this week, our leading lady that's going to lead us this week is a powerhouse. I mean, I got dressed up and put on a suit jacket. Her name is Paige Rose. She's joining us today. And I would just, oh my goodness, I cannot hold a candle to her accolades of what she has done as a powerhouse as a woman. Paris, she's a writer. She's a producer. If I forget something, Paris, you can always cut me off. She's an author. She's a motivational speaker, entrepreneur, and most importantly, which is dear to my heart and as well as Joel, she's an activist against domestic violence. That is huge, especially nowadays, especially during the pandemic. And we can talk about that. She holds a BS in human resource management.
Yes.
Advanced business. Yes. I'm not done. No. Advanced business administration.
Yeah.
And she's currently pursuing her career, pursuing her master's degree in mental health, which we need. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Welcome, Paris.
And a director.
Oh, I forgot the director.
Yes. And producer.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, I want to hear all about that. That's what I'm aspiring to be, a creative director as well.
Yes.
So please welcome leading lady Paris D. Rose.
Oh, thank you for having me, guys. Thank you so much
for being here. Yes. So I know Joe warned you about the rapid fire question. Yeah, Joe, we're going to talk about that.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, bring it.
No, you're ready, Joe. Joe, we're going to get the juices rolling. So we might switch it up a little bit. So,
okay.
What is your go-to thing for self-care, Paris?
Oh, the gym. In the morning, we get up, me and my husband, we meditate.
Okay.
After meditation, then we go to the gym at 6:45.
Wow.
We try to do at least 35 to 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
And we're pushing up to like 5 days a week, but right now there's like 3 to 4 days a week.
That's
so
incredible.
That's right. That's important for me. Fitness,
that's a lot.
And health and wealth. Health first.
No, wealth for me. Yeah, because if you got the wealth, you can buy the health, right?
But if you don't have the health,
right, we got to be healthy first, mentally, emotionally. You have to be. That's how you're going to be able to get your wealth.
I'm just joking. Yeah, because I hang out with your girl, LaShonda, so it's always money talk. She's like, Renee, we got to finish.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So LaShonda.
LaShonda also stays pretty healthy too. So
yeah. So LaShonda Tug, yes. So
yes, I know as Tug.
Yeah, she's part of my money team. Okay, Joe, you got some questions for her?
Another question.
All right.
What's your favorite purchase under $100 this past year? And this includes, January, February, March.
It was these little boxes that I purchased from Uline for my Comfies for Me line. They were like $66, little black glossy boxes, and some were white glossy boxes. So it was only $66 for 100. And I just started my Comfies for Me intimate apparel. So that was my a really cool purchase for me. I was like, I can get these boxes for $66.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. So that was.
I want to talk about the Comfies. I want to talk about the Comfies.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a sucker for organization, so.
Yeah. So you already said what you and your husband do in the morning, but what's the first thing you do in the morning after you check your phone?
Well, I don't check my phone first. When I wake up in the morning, we both get on our knees and we pray first. Okay. And then, of course, you got to go to the ladies' room or whatever, get some tea. and then I'll grab my phone. So I try to not grab my phone right away. Give it probably maybe 15 to 20 minutes. No social media, no anything. I don't want it in my brain before I can get my mental going. So it's to pray, grab some tea, or pray, grab that water, hit the gym. Then we'll probably grab our phones, but not the first thing in the morning.
Well, because my phone is always vibrating. Somebody's calling me to work for them, my job calling me, my grandson's calling me, Grandma.
I'm calling her.
You calling me, like, so I don't, that's the first thing before I plant my feet. I gotta look at my phone like, what, Joe? Like, what? So
Renee's so popular. You're so popular.
You have to get your mental together first before you can talk to anyone else. You have to be focused and be able to carry it on for the day. So that's why I say before anyone get into this, I need to get into me first.
Yes. And you know what? A lot of our ladies spoke about meditating. And to be honest with you, since we've been doing a podcast, our leading ladies been talking about prayer, meditating. And I think I'm starting to do it right, because before, when I would meditate, I would fall asleep. But now I am starting to calm my mind.
Yes.
You know, like before I go into work in the car, I'll just sit. If I have like 10 minutes, because I try to go early, fighting LA traffic. So what I do is I digress, I sit, and I just close my eyes and just put everything out, and I just have to say, Renee, you're going to have a good shift. You know, I ask God to give, to bless these hands, this mind, keep me focused, because I'm taking care of people. So I think I'm doing it right, because it calms me down, and I go into work with a better mindset of getting through the 12-hour shift, being productive, and giving more of myself to my patients.
Yes.
So I think I'm doing it.
You are doing it.
Cheers
yes,
to
and
that.
it does absolutely. Cheers to that.
Mm-hmm.
And
cheers to
you
that.
don't have to, and it doesn't make a difference on how long you do it, because our meditation, my husband and I, it's like 5 minutes in the morning, and it gets a lot in 5 minutes when we're listening to this lady. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then it's the breathing, helps us to breathe better, helps us to conquer the gym, because he's like, oh gosh, I gotta go to the gym with her today.
Oh,
she's gonna, and that's what he's thinking. He's like, oh my gosh, she's gonna take it easy on me today. But it doesn't matter how long you do the meditation. And there's no wrong way of doing it. It's when you finish, when you get something good out of it, you know you've done it right.
Well, it shouldn't be an alarm clock going on. I'm like, oh, I thought I was meditating, but now I'm doing it right, because I'm not falling asleep, and it's calming me down. So I had put that into my routine, and I started doing it, like I said, when I get to work and before I go in. Okay. Because we get bombarded with life.
Yeah.
And I think that I have to put that on the shelf and say, you know what, when I go in here, I'm going to deal with my patients, deal with the things that they have going on, because even though they may have pathophysiology illnesses or things like that, but sometimes it's the mental that I have to deal with, So, that's big. That's huge, to make sure my mental is in check before I deal with someone else.
Absolutely.
Yes. So you warmed up, Paige? You warmed up? Okay. So now I am a avid book reader. And what is your favorite book? Because I know that you write books, but what is your favorite book?
Okay. My favorite book is Blueblack Tears of a Father and Child, which is my first book.
Okay.
It's a trilogy, so it's also Shades of Blue.
Ooh.
And then it's Freed, which is a trilogy. Now these
Wonderful.
are my favorite books. Not finished. Joy Comes in the Morning. And we can't forget my husband, Ambitious. My husband wrote a book on Ambitious. So those are my favorite books. I am my favorite.
I love that.
Hey, I love it.
But I do love Maya Angelou, the poet. Why the Cage Bird Sings. That was a really great book. I love to read that. But to be honest, our books are my favorite.
And it as it should be. I have to get some of your books
right here.
Woo! Oh, I love that. I love the wall.
We should definitely. We have a.
The rest is my husband. He was executive, producer for Def Jam. So that's him all in the back.
Cool.
That's incredible. You guys are a power couple.
Records in the back.
Oh my goodness, your accomplishment wall.
That's amazing.
I love it. Wow.
Thank you.
All right. Another question, Paris. If you could start a new career tomorrow, what would you try?
Probably, I did that already, but I would say, I think I would be a fitness instructor.
Okay.
I really would. I would be a fitness instructor. I even though I taught kickboxing for a little bit, but I didn't get, I kind of branched off of it, became a little overwhelming a little bit, even though fitness is still so important to me. But I really would. I think I will be a fitness instructor and then just probably do a lot of voluntary work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what I would do, but definitely a fitness instructor.
I would be an airline stewardess. I think that's one of the sexiest.
Really?
Oh my God, that is just so sexy. Like when I go to the airport, I just love to see them running through walking swiftly through the airport, carrying their luggage, and then behind the pilot with his. I have to stop.
Bring a sexy bag. You would be the one to bring the sexy bag.
Yes, but you know what? I wanted to be an airline stewardess, and I remember my guidance counselor, Dr. Franco. He was like, "What is it that you want to be, Renee? Because we're getting you ready. It's 11th grade." I said, I want to be an airline stewardess because I want to travel. Wow. I want to meet hot guys, and So he's like, he was like,
travel the world.
No, but he was like, "You want to be a waitress in the sky?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "I have great legs." I was like, "No."
Show them off.
Yeah, so because I had an attitude back then. So I was like, "No." I said, "I want to meet hot guys and I want to travel." So that's when he told me about travel nursing. And then I learned that back in the, olden days, that airline stewardesses were actually nurses.
Wow.
Oh.
So I may retire and be an airline stewardess and travel.
There we go.
That's a winner. Really.
Why not?
Bringing sexy back.
Yeah, I mean, like 76 years old, going down and carrying my stuff and, trying to pick up the hot guys.
I think they were trying to pick you up.
Yep, at 76.
Absolutely.
Now, the podcast is for leading ladies is past, present, future. Now, you spoke of Maya Angelou, so she's kind of our past. You're our presence. What piece of advice would you share with the next gen that's coming after us? What piece of advice would you share?
Be true to yourself.
Yes.
Be who you are. Don't want to be anyone else but you. You are all made individually, because I see a lot of it, and I'm not judging, but just be comfortable within yourself. Just be who you are and comfortable within yourself, because we don't really have that a lot these days. A lot of women, because they may have low self-esteem, and it happens. It happens. But if you can feel within yourself that I am great, I am wonderful, I am beautiful, I can defeat anything, then that's how you will be in your future. Just be yourself. Be yourself and know that you are individual. No one is like you. Nope. No one is like you. So that is important. Just know that nobody is like you. Even a twin, they're still different. It's something different about a twin. But just be true to yourself. Be true to yourself.
Yeah, because I know my Corey, like if I'll post something and then he'll make this comment, he'll be like, "Oh yeah," he said Instagram. He said you can post who you can post who you supposed to post who you want to be. I'd be like, "Who you talking about?
Right.
You talking about me?" He's like, "Nah, big dog, I'm not trying." I'm like, "Cause none of this. You always say that after I put a post on there," and he'd be like, "Yeah." He was like, "Cause IG, you can be the baddest chick." I'm like, "No, not me." He said,
I hear that. Mm-hmm.
And he'll be like, "Oh yeah," he said, "You can be Mr. Tough Guy on IG." I'm like, "Corey, I think you talking about me. He was like, nah, big dog. Yeah, my son Corey, yeah. He like, yeah, big dog. Like, yeah.
No, that's who you are.
That is who I post.
You
is
ain't
who
Period.
That's right. You're not pretending to be anyone else.
Nope.
You're being true to who you are.
Yep, Corey. I'm Renee L. Paige.
Now. Exactly.
Corey. Oh my goodness. So Joe, you have some stuff because I'm just taking a ball hard time. You have some stuff, Joe, that you want to say?
Yeah. I definitely just would like to ask, about your career, especially we touched on it earlier about your activism with domestic violence, against domestic violence. And it's something very important to just shed some light onto it. My mom was, in that situation as well with domestic violence. In high school, I made a movie about domestic violence. And I'm currently producing a movie about domestic violence. So it's definitely, the subject resonates with me, and I'm sure with a lot of ladies and a lot of people. And Renee, you mentioned COVID, and I didn't think about that, and how it definitely has highlighted people's situations, especially because people are stuck inside a house with, their partners.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's their abusers. And, financially they've been struggling, and, mentally. And yeah, I just wanted to know more about what you do, and how you are an activist.
Yes.
Well, actually, the books that I showed you, that is a trilogy, and that is about the domestic violence of my mom and the child abuse of me. So it turned into a trilogy. I told our story. And that's how I started in 2016. And well, when I was younger, I always said, oh, I'm going to write a story about, my mom, my dad, my brother, and myself on what happened to us. And it took me 15 years before I actually did it. And the first book was 2016. And it talked about my mother trying to survive the domestic violence. Sometimes I didn't even know if my mom was alive. I was always the brave one to, when my father went to see, he was a doctor for some reason. After he would, abuse my mom, he would go out and get all the bandages and everything to, patch her up just in case family came over. But they weren't allowed to come over because, he didn't want anyone to see her like that. But I would actually go in the room. And this is how I knew that this was my calling. When my father would leave, I would go in the room and open the door. And my mom's face was like, her eyes were shut closed, and you couldn't recognize her because she was purple and blue. She's very light, and she would say, "Get out." She didn't know who it was because she couldn't see me. But she would say, "Shut the door, get out of here before your father comes back." And I said, Mom, I'm not leaving you. I'm not leaving you. And she was like, "Please." Well, this went on for many, many, many years. And as I said, I never knew if she was alive or not. And then the abuse will be put upon me and my brother as well. It's pretty, I really don't want to get too much into it. I don't know if you guys want to hear the stories. It's pretty heavy. But again, I walk around every day with the remembrance of the domestic violence. Like, my father, put my hand in fire right here. And you think about those things that happen to you. But even though what my father did to me, I always say, I'm not responsible for what he did to me or did to my mom, but I'm responsible for my healing. And when I found out, you know what, you can heal, and then you can be a voice for other women. So I decided to start an organization called Voices of Women. I'm looking now for like a building. I would start going to events with my book and do speaking engagements about my book. And then women would come to me and talk to me. They will open up. And I would start having other events, and men started coming to the events, and we would have round tables. So I have, some things about round tables. I went to a lot of men events that would talk to me about their daughters. How do they get their daughters out of, the domestic violence with the men that they're with? And I would talk to them. And like I told them, I'm talking from experience, because nobody don't want to hear anything that you have not been through if you're going to tell them. You know how you have those girlfriends, girl, leave. And if they haven't been through it, you don't want to hear anything. You want to talk to someone that has been through it, that has survived, and I have survived, every night, not knowing if my mother was, I have survived being, beaten and tied up to, a broom, and whipped by my dad. And it was so much trauma. But the only thing that really got me through this, I know I had to forgive. I would never be able to get through my life if I didn't forgive my father, because that stuff stayed within you. Yeah. And I said, you know what? It's time for you to be a voice for women, because you sweep it under the carpet. For many years, my mom and other women, they sweep it under the carpet because they don't want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. They don't want to talk about what has happened to them. But no, it's, as I say, I will be a voice. And I am voices of women. I'm the voice for the women. And a lot of people say, you don't do things for men. Yes, I do. I also, because I always say about my dad, there has to be a save before the save. We couldn't be saved until he was saved. Yeah. He had issues. So I always say that I forgave him. Why? Because he didn't know what he was doing. Someone had to save him first in order to save my mom and to save me and my brother. So now that's what I'm doing. I'm just doing live speaking engagements as people invite me. Created Joy Comes in the Morning.
Wow.
Because my grandmother always said, this has just been released actually last week. The trilogy was released in 16, 17, and 18. Every year I wrote a book and continued my mother's story. These are just inspirational. My aunt was going through some depression. And so every day I would send her quotes. And when I sent her a quote, she would reply to the quotes. And this has been going on for 2 years. So I created a actual book with her quotes and the quotes that I would send her in the morning. And people are able to daily guide, so you're able to write your thoughts in it. And she couldn't believe it. 2 years, she had no idea that I've been creating this for her. But my grandmother always told me when we were younger, when she knew that we were being beaten, and told my mom that she was going to take us with her, my grandmother always said this: baby, joy comes in the morning. Never make decisions until the sunrise.
I like that.
So
it's funny that you said that, because when my daughter is stuck up against like a hard decision, I say, go to sleep. And when you wake up, if you're still thinking about whatever you're thinking, that's your answer.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I always believe that the joy, and I said that when we were younger, when my brother would say, no, don't be her, talk to my father, like, let me take the beat. And he was like, no, you're both going to get it. We don't know why we're being beaten. But he's angry. He was just very angry. God rest his soul. Okay. But I decided that I was going to write about it, and I was going to make sure that I was going to save other lives. I do stuff for the House of Ruth. They actually have my book, Blueblack Tears. They have 100 of my books in their library. Next week, they'll be getting 50 of these.
Yes.
So I'm dedicating that in my mom's name. I have a girlfriend that is a survivor of domestic violence, 2 girlfriends. So I'm dedicating the 50 books in their name.
Wow, that is just awesome. Because a lot of times women, and I say women, but men are suffer domestic violence as well. But mainly like with women, sometimes they feel like it's their fault, and sometimes they're too embarrassed to talk about it. And I know, like at the hospital, that's one of the part of our questionnaire when we ask women. I mean, when we're admitting women, is anyone hurting you? Is mentally, because it's not always physically, but it's mentally, emotionally, sexually, financially. So we ask those questions. And I know a few times, women have come forward, and we were, I was able to navigate like social worker, and social worker could get them help. So that's something that we have to take serious about. If a woman says yes, and she's ready to speak about it now, and you can kind of tell, if she's with someone, you wouldn't ask that question then. You would wait until you get them alone. And then you can kind of tell, because the abuser usually don't let them by themselves.
Out of their side.
Yep. And they usually answer questions. And it's, and then when you look at x-rays, it's healed fractures. It's healed bruises. Yeah. So you can kind of, the signs are there. The signs are there.
To sign your patterns. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
my grandmother said she just was like, I'm going to take these kids because my mom didn't want, of course, she didn't want her kids taken away from them. But right now in the day, I would ask. Sometimes I'll ask my mom, and she'll try not to talk about it. I'll say, "Well, why did you take so long?" Because we were about, I think, 13. So it
okay.
was from like 4 years old up into teenage that my mom stayed, and I understand she was afraid. She was
Yeah.
afraid to leave. And I said, right now, me being this voice, I'm going to let women know you don't have to be afraid anymore. You don't have to be afraid. And
So,
I always ask them, if you know someone that's being hurt, please speak out, please. Because guess what? That person may not have tomorrow.
yeah.
And
So
what advice would you give to
yeah.
people, to shine a light on domestic violence? You said speak up, but
Right.
speak up
Yeah,
to whom? To the cops, to the person that's being
that,
abused, to the surrounding
exactly.
people?
Yes, you have some family members that you might trust. If you have any family members that you trust, please speak up to them. They have the House of Ruth. They have, of course, Voices of Women, and I'm on Parity Rose, which you'll have my number is on there too. That
Okay.
I talk to, women or men, even sometimes men will call me, but normally they're calling me not really about they've been abused, but they might have their daughter or a sister, and they'll ask my advice. What's the best thing if their daughter, someone don't have, I don't have a facility right at this moment.
Right.
We're looking into that. I will tell them the House of Ruth. I'll give them the information for the House of Ruth. But I would say you're not in this alone. There are places you can go. All you have to do is pick up that phone, and they are very private. The House of Ruth is
Yeah.
very confidential because even though they let me come in there as when I donated the books, and also I always give funds too because they have to keep it going. They gave me a tour, but I wasn't allowed to see the women. They are very, very private. They're very private. So if they even have to, call, as I say, I'm Kirsty Rose. You can DM me. Also, if you look at Voices of Women or my Facebook is Kirsty Rose, they'll say Voices of Women. I have my phone number there. I have my business line there that you can call me, and I will give them a number if they need somewhere to stay. Because sometimes it's that day that you have to make that decision.
Yeah.
Don't wait
Yeah.
until tomorrow. You may not have tomorrow. It has to be somebody that you trust. And even it may be, like I say, if it's not a family member, it might be a friend, it might be a neighbor, it might be a coworker. But just
Yeah.
think about you may not have tomorrow.
But then also they have to be ready because I know I had friends before back years and years ago, and they would have the big blue eyes and the bruises and stuff, and I'd be like, well, do you want me to help you? Do you want me to do this? And it was always, well, no, because what am I going to do later? It was always that financial dependency. Like, I'm there because of my children. He won't hurt the kids, but if I can't afford to go out on my own, and so that's another factor. They have to be ready.
Right. And
Go.
you're right. They have to, because it took my mom I asked her, why? Why did this take you so long? Because emotionally,
Yeah.
mentally, and physically, it affected me in
Yeah.
my life, in marriages
Oh,
that affected me.
plural. Okay.
Yes, it actually, yes, it did. It will, but
Yeah.
you will take it's still in you. It doesn't go away, but you still have the trust factor. You'll have that because you're scared. You don't trust everyone because you don't know if they're going to hurt you or harm you. But that's the thing. I would tell these women, it's not worth it because guess what? You can get funds and financial, but you can't
Yeah.
get your life back.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
cannot get your life back. And then when you think about, like, my mom didn't think he was going to hurt the children.
Yeah.
So when people
Yeah.
say he won't hurt, you don't know. If this
Don't
person is an
know.
abuser, they're an abuser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't know that my father was going to put my hand in fire. She didn't know he was going to tie us to broomsticks and whip us. She didn't know that. She had no idea. But he did. He absolutely did. And the question I would always ask, like, what took you so long? Fear. She
Yeah.
was scared. She was scared.
Yeah.
But she had family. My mom had family that would come and say that, we would take you in. We would take
Okay.
you in. And I think with the last straw, I guess, was when I screamed one night. I think that was the last time my mom said, you know what? She was going to pack up, and the broomstick thing kind of threw her off, but these were back to back. Like, why are you beating my kids but naked, tying them to broomsticks and whipping them? For what? What is your reason?
Like, what is, yeah.
You know, I said go to sleep and I can still hear you talking. That's not a reason. But there was a sickness. And that's why people are like, oh my gosh, when they read Blueblack Tears, they were like, oh my gosh, she forgave her father. And my father actually, we did build a relationship when I got older. We built a relationship. I accepted my father back in his life, and he always told me, never change, because I was so not deserving of your love. And you actually gave me your love. So he started writing me poems every day, and he would call me every day when I got older and write me poems, and just would always say, just always keep that heart. Your heart is so pure. I don't see how a person can ever accept me back after what I've done. And I knew right then and there I had to be a woman.
And they say hurt people usually hurt people, so he must have been going through some stuff too. And then, you just have to be careful, especially with our daughters, because if they're in a domestic relationship, they grow up thinking that it's okay. And then they wind up marrying or dating an abuser because that's what they're used to, because they think that that's how it's supposed to be.
It's a pattern.
It is, yeah. So it's a pattern.
It becomes a pattern. You have to actually stop it. You have to at some point, because it'll continue in generations and generations and generations. Well, I definitely stopped with my daughter because she doesn't play.
Oh, yeah.
She's 32 years old. No. Miss 32 is like, no, that's not happening to me. She's very supportive in everything that I do, but no, she won't. But it did.
She inherited your strength.
Yeah,
she did. She did.
And I know my Bria, her dad was in her ear. If a guy ever put his hands on you, oh my God. And then she had her older brother. so pretty much she had a dad voice in her ear and her brother. So, and then the guys knew, if you ever touch it, put your hands on my sister or my daughter, you're gone. So that kind of, that kind of set the tone for Bria.
Right. And when you get older, you're like, my mom, she's different now. She's not the way that she used to be, because I remember when I was young, I was like, oh my gosh, I was so in love with my mom. She was so sweet, and just her hazel eyes, I would just love it. That's what it is. My mom she's just gorgeous. She's just, I wish I looked like her, but no, I look like my dad. So I look just like my
handsome man, good looking man.
Oh, and you're stunning. So
yes.
Oh my gosh. Yes. You should see my mom.
You got any pictures back there of her? Any pictures? On your wall of fame?
No, this is all me and my husband.
You'll have to share with us.
I better be on my daughter's wall. I better be on my daughter and son's wall.
She's on Voices of Women. Actually, it's a picture of me and my mom on Voices of Women on Facebook.
Okay.
It's the picture of us. But yeah, it was just always the jealousy of how beautiful she is. And
yes.
She's so sweet. And she was just so nice. Now, oh boy, she's a firecracker now.
I bet she is.
But it's because of the experience of what she went through. So now she's at her age, at 67 years old, she's trying to get over that, because when she decides to get into a relationship, she's different now. She doesn't take any mess at all. But it's tough for her, because now men are like, oh, she's snappy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So and she's trying to she do have to calm down just a little.
Bring it down, Mom.
Just bring it down. I wish somebody would.
I wish.
0 to 60.
Did she volunteer, and does she speak to other women to give back, your mom?
Actually, when at my events, my mom did. Whenever I have a speaking engagement, my mom comes to all my speaking engagements. And when I start talking about the Blueblack Tears, and they're like, Mom, I wonder where's her mom. And then when I introduced her, they was like, oh my God. When I say she volunteers and participate in everything, all the book signings, everything that I do, my mom is right there. Everything. She's right there. And they talk to her, and, they feel real comfortable with speaking to my mom about it. And she was like, I believe that God just put it in my daughter's spirit to tell this story and to help other women. And I'm just so thankful and blessed that my daughter did tell the story to help other women.
Wow. So we can kind of lead into like, like I said, your books. Again, I'm an avid book reader, so I understand that you just finished your fourth book, right? Joy Comes.
Fifth book. My husband had, take it off the shelf. My husband has a book called Ambition, and it talks about. Wait a minute, here he has me. Oh, here it is. Sorry.
It's okay.
My goodness, I need a copy.
Yes, it's on Amazon. So it talks about when he was, working for Def Jam for many years, in the music business, and of course, I'm the co-author. Of course.
Of course. So
that is
I'll sign that
book.
Yes. Okay.
So, yes. My fifth book, and I'm releasing 2 more this year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then it's a collaboration this year with 20 women and 20 men. I'm actually sharing the spotlight, getting inspirational stories. It's called I Never Prayed for Myself 2020 Vision.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Now you started your own publishing company, right?
I did. I just actually, this has been brand new, about a month in. Because everyone just kept asking me, can you teach me how to write a book? So I do have my work guide coming out for that as well this year. That's one of the 2 books.
Okay,
so I have a work guide.
What does the work guide entails? What does the work guide entails?
It actually teaches you how to write a book. And it teaches you how from the beginning to the very end of everything that you have to do in order to write a book. I'm giving all of it out from the beginning to the very end of how I started to, because I self-published. I did it all by myself. So I was like, why not open up my own publishing company? I know how to do it from the beginning to the end. To if you need design, if you need graphic design, if you need editing, you need people to try to market and promote in your book. I know how to do all that. So I opened up.
It's a guide. What's the name of it? What's the name of the guide?
Well, the guide is not out yet. It's called Tell Me Your Story.
I love it. Tell me your story.
It will be released this year because I just finished Joy Comes in the Morning. I just finished this last week. So now the other ones will be coming up. I Never Prayed for Myself and Tell Me Your Story.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's incredible. And the fact that you're sharing this wealth of knowledge with people and
because you can self-publish. You can self-publish, but at the end of the day, I'm sure they're like, oh well, you can teach me how to write the book, but when it comes to some other steps, people will come over to my company. Like these are under me. All 5 of these are under me right now. Under RDJ Publishing. LLC.
RDJ. Okay.
Yes, RDJ Publishing LLC. So all of them are under me, but I still want to be able to have a work guide out there because everyone doesn't want to do that. They just might want to self-publish. They might not be really into being a writer. Everyone's not a writer.
Right.
They might just want to tell a story. But I'm gonna, show them teach them how to write.
I love it.
So if we're looking for a book by Paris D. Rose, what is the book that you recommend we start with?
Yes.
If you're looking for a book out of my book?
Yes, out of your books. Which book would you recommend we start with?
Blueblack Tears.
All right, Renee, we got to add that to our book club.
Yes.
Blueblack Tears. Yes. It's a trilogy.
It's like 3 books.
Yeah, it's a trilogy. It's Blueblack Tears of a Father and Child.
Okay.
Oh.
You can actually Google Google.
Father and Child.
If you Google Paris D. Rose or just parisdrose.com, it'll come up and it'll take you to Amazon where my books are. This was the last one, Freed, because I'm freed now.
Okay, cool.
Yes. But it started with this first, Blueblack Tears of a Father and Child.
Okay.
And then Blueblack Tears of a Father and Child, Shades of Blue.
Wow.
And then the last one, Freed.
Yeah. All right. I want to get all 3.
I would definitely read the trilogy first. Is
it on Audible?
Yes. It's on Kindle. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Of course, ambitious.
Look at you. Look at you. I What is that? 4 books? What was that?
5.
Oh, 5. I gotta get 5 books.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm back in school. You know, when the professor tells you all these books you gotta get, like I can only afford one of those books. You get them one at a time. I'm gonna shoot trees. Oh, when you get yours, you'll get me one.
Yes. Paris, now you said that it is an Audible.
Yeah.
Do you read them, or is someone else reading those?
What,
Are you narrating?
Narrating.
Oh, no. I mean Kindle. No, we haven't done
Kindle.
the Audible.
Okay,
We did the Kindle. I'm sorry, we did the Kindles. I haven't done that yet. Everyone's telling me to do that. But I'm like, come on, guys, y'all don't want to read.
Come on, read.
Yeah,
I do gotta tell you,
busy people like me, we spend so much time in the car.
On the road, yes.
I could be listening to I'm on the road for what, an hour and a half, sometimes 2. I could have went through a whole book, right?
You know what? I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna definitely
take
that with me. And you know what? I'm gonna put every book on every last one.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
I'm gonna
because we do love to read, but it's
I'm an avid reader. Yes. So
when
put it on
They're
Audible.
all on Kindle. They're all on Kindle.
Okay.
They are all of them on Kindle. But Audible, I totally get it. People are like, well, come on now. Come on into the new century. I'm like,
yes.
I'm still right. I actually want to get back and do my typewriter. That's how I am. And
you're very going old school. You're very going old school.
I like the pen, still writing with the pen and things of that sort. I like that, but
there's a charm
to keep up with the time. Got to keep up with the time. It's called change.
Yeah. You reminded me. So you're actually from Baltimore, right? Same.
Yes.
Okay. What high school did you go to?
Oh my gosh, I went to Holland Park Elementary School.
You said Roland Park?
Holland Park Elementary School.
Yeah. Okay.
So I went to Holland Park Elementary. Then we had junior high. We didn't.
I remember that. You just told your age.
There. Yeah. So from there, then don't know how I ended up in Frederick Douglass, but I didn't stay there long.
Okay. My mom went there. She was a duck.
I couldn't. Yeah, duck. But I didn't have a great experience because of my upbringing of being so secluded and everything was so private. I was very quiet. So because I was very quiet, I was picked on.
Oh.
So I was picked on all the time. People had no idea what I had to go home to. So I just kept to myself. And when you're quiet, they look at you like, you're a weirdo, you know? So people are going to pick on you. So I was picked on and getting into women they were girls actually, always want to fight. What do you want to fight me for? I don't even talk to you. I talk to no one. It's a story in my book about that. Like this girl really sliced me up. Like it's real. Like I got these long stitches because her boyfriend used to speak to me. I didn't know they were talking about me. I didn't even know either one of them. The judge could not believe it. It could not believe it. He used to try to make her jealous. And it's in Shades of Blue. And he would say, hey, beautiful. I don't know who they talking. I'm still walking. And she was like, don't you speak to that. And after a while, because I was so naive, I realized they was talking about me. And it got so bad that the girl wanted to fight me. And I didn't even know what was going on. And she actually sliced me up, actually, in my head, on my arm. It was just terrible. It was a big neighborhood thing because the ladies in the neighborhood loved me and they were older women. They came out to help with the fight. It was terrible. My mom was out there.
Only in Baltimore, right? Only in Baltimore.
Yeah,
all
in Baltimore.
Hard knocks.
I can remember the one head getting thrown into the snowball machine. It was all these women coming out to help fight because she brought other women. And she don't even know me and I don't even know them. So
and
anyway,
you're dealing with your own issues like at home.
At
home.
Yeah. So
that's terrible.
To say that I didn't, that was at the high school. I was like, no more. So my mom removed me and put me in a private school. So I graduated from Sort Out Redeemed private school. Yeah.
My mom.
Sort Out Redeemed Christian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mom put me in a private school and it was like, maybe put her away from everybody.
Nobody.
Just from all the crazies.
Everybody. Yeah. So kind of, that it did take me a little bit time when I finally decided to, okay, you got to go back. So I was scared.
I bet you
scared
were.
to go to school because I was like, I didn't know who was going to bother me. Who was going to mess with me for what? I'm just like just quiet. Just because you're quiet and you're an introvert, people just pick with you all the time. And I was like, who they talking about? They say somebody's pretty or beautiful. You wasn't talking to me. I never look at myself like that. I never look, oh, you're pretty. No, no, no. That's not how my mom never raised me like that. And I never feel that way. And I'm always humble when someone say, oh, you're pretty. I'm like, oh, thank you. My husband's like, but you know you're beautiful. And I remember women say, she don't know yet. I remember when I was younger, they were like, she doesn't know yet. But my father will always say that wasn't going to be my issue in life. When he told my mom, I'm going to always have problems with men and women. Don't you tell my daughter that. And he said, I don't mean about how she looks because that's not how she is. I'm talking about her heart. People are going to be they're going to want that. And they're going to be jealous because that's what she has. And so I was like, because beautiful, pretty, what?
But you're still gorgeous. You're dressed gorgeous
in
now.
The outside and in the inside.
So thank you.
You have beautiful energy.
Oh, thank you. And I hope I give it out to everyone.
I got it. I got it.
Let me get some of that.
I got it, Joe.
You got
as soon as she started doing, I got it. Yeah, she like everything lit up over here.
I love that. Now, Paris.
Yes.
Let's talk about your comfy line.
Oh, Joe, you're so
like,
vain.
Oh my God.
Look at you, Joe. So you said, he's so vain, Joe.
I want to hear about this. Oh my gosh. Like, how do you do all this? You are incredible. My goodness. So what inspired you to take this route, this business on?
Oh my goodness. The comfies. Okay. Now, ladies, all our ladies out there, when you're working, when you're cleaning, when you're cooking, when you're at the gym, we tend to sometimes have uncomfortable things on, like our panties. Sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. But the comfies for me, you don't even know you have them on. You don't feel anything. When I say you don't feel anything,
let me see.
It's so.
I can wear those to work because I wear hospital clothes. So
yes, they are. So my aunt already purchased, 6. I'm like, wait a minute, we're still working on the website. But she was like, I need 6, and then she's like, no, I need 7 because I want them for 7 days a week. She doesn't even realize that she has them on. No,
I don't know about the tops for me. I need some bigger tops. I don't think the girls.
Well, they come. Well, you know what? I noticed that some people are a little, a little big at the top.
Yeah.
We have bigger tops. We definitely have bigger tops.
You got
Yeah.
Same size as Tyra Banks.
Yeah. We do because like this here is these are bigger, like very stretchable, but these are like extra large.
They still look small.
Well, because I'm creative.
Oh, they look sexy.
Those are nice.
Yes,
they're simple.
but this
pretty,
is actually yes. When I say, oh my gosh, the way that they stretch, oh my gosh, they feel so good. And
so when's the
I'm just so excited.
Coming out?
I know my husband is working on that. He was like, I need to do some
boxer briefs or some briefs.
Yes. So I'm definitely going to work on that because he mentioned that. He was like, we need to do some briefs for the men. We're going to have a fashion show actually in July.
You got to tell us about it. Where?
Yes, I'm here in Baltimore. We're working on the venue. My husband, that's his just with the venues. And I'm going to send you guys tickets. Tickets to come. Because it's going to be a big fashion show.
I can't wait.
The ladies are going to be in comfy. Because comfy's going to be, also we have the boy shorts coming out.
Okay.
Yep, the sports bra, the lounge pants, like the leotard. So all these are comfies just for you to lounge around. But
be lazy.
My girlfriend, which is Tug's girlfriend, Donna. Not sure.
Donna. Yeah.
Donna's very close friend of mine.
Right.
We're born on the same day, and she came over because she the one taught me how to kickbox. And it's weird. We met at the Merit, and I was like, "What is that? Where is that coming from?" And it was a kickboxing class, and then I just jumped in there into the kickboxing class and started it. And we
was LaShonda teaching. Was LaShonda teaching the class?
Actually, no, but I actually had me, LaShonda, and Donna on video doing kickboxing in my apartment.
Okay. Because Tony can get because Tony don't need no instructional stuff, yeah.
Oh no, she can get it in.
Oh yeah. Problem, girl, guy, I'm standing behind LaShonda.
I would be like, I will take a different boxing partner, not LaShonda.
She is definitely, she can get it in. But yeah, that's my girlfriend Donna came over when I told her about comfies, and she put the comfies on. And remember, she's a kickboxing instructor. She did kickboxing and comfies for me. I'm gonna release it. I just signed an NDA on it because she's in her underwear. But the way that, they don't move. And she's doing kickboxing. Actually, everything that you do in kickboxing in my comfies for me. But that's why I'm trying to tell everyone you can do everything in them. And especially women that work at the hospitals, this shit every day, cooking, cleaning, and working out.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Yeah. I always hear my girlfriends when they come over. I have a lot of girlfriends, but not.
All right, what?
Don't get jealous, Renee. Don't get jealous. You're my girlfriend too.
I'm jealous. I don't have a lot.
And my best friend tells me, she's like, yeah, like sometimes I'm wearing a tank top and I go to sleep and I wake up and one of the girls is like, out there in the morning.
Yeah.
So if you could kickbox, if you could work, I'm sure you could sleep in those comfies and you'll be okay.
Yes, when I put them on her and we videotaped her in kickboxing. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for you guys to see it. So we're going to show that video, but we're kind of working on some editing with it. And I did, as I said, I did sign an NDA because I was like, she's in our drawers.
Hey.
But she looks great in them, and it's not that. And I always tell women, don't want to look like anybody else. Just feel comfortable in your own skin. Feel comfortable in your own skin, because then that will make you, feel better about yourself. Not, I want to look like this. I want to look like that. Yeah. No, you want to be who you are. You might want to feel, you probably want to be more healthier, but never want to look like anyone else but your own self. But I'm just saying, comfies for me, you can do everything in them.
So I'm right there, because you say, well, what's your purchase under $100 in 2022? If I buy one of Paris's books, comfy for me, I'm at $100 right there, right? One book and one Oh, really?
No.
Oh, okay.
$50.
How much?
$50.
For what? The underwear?
The book?
$29.99 for the underwear, $19.99 for the book.
Oh, well then I can get 2 books.
2 books.
Mm-hmm.
And two pair of underwears, right?
Yes.
I'll be washing and wearing them for work. So yeah.
That's a deal right there.
Yeah, that's a deal.
Sure, that's a deal.
Okay, so $59, I get a book and a pair of underwear.
Yes, for $50. Yeah.
Okay. Can you lend me $50, Joel?
I got you. We'll charge it.
Yeah. On your black card. We'll use your black card. Yeah. Well, you take credit cards.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just use your black card. Yeah. Matter of fact, give me all the books, and I want every color. What colors do they?
Comfries come in pink, black, and white right now. In neutral.
All 3 colors.
Yeah, because you know what? I feel I will expand on other colors. But when we're have clothes on, we don't want you to see red through here or green through there. It's bras. But for the other line, I will do some other colors. But I think neutral colors is good for like every day. Yeah. Like if you're, what you're wearing now, you want something black on, and a neutral color. So that's why I just did the 3 neutral colors for now. But I'm going to expand, and I'm definitely going to do a men's line. I'm definitely going to do a men's line.
Perfect.
Keep with that. Now you look like you're very much in charge. You know where you want to go. So tell us about this. You being a director and a producer. That's my talk. Let's talk about that.
Yes, talk for sure.
I actually, when I was writing Blueblack Tears, and then Shades of Blue, when I finished Freed, which was in the end of a relationship,
Okay.
I was like not taking it anymore, and I was freed of all like the domestic violence, the mental abuse, the child abuse, and I was moving on. And I woke up and I couldn't breathe, and it wasn't my asthma. That wasn't it. It wasn't my asthma. But
I ain't got asthma.
yes, I literally couldn't breathe, and I was like, "Why I can't breathe?" And I was like, "You're better than this. You know better. You've been fighting for all this time since you was 5 years old. You're not gonna let anybody do this to you. Come on." And my movie is called Breathe Again. So
Wow.
because I'm a writer, I grabbed my pen and I started writing. The movie. Started writing, and I said, "I'm gonna make a short film." And it's about four women that go through different things in their life. One, like a baby daddy issue, a wife, her husband cheated on her, a woman that is with, she has a boyfriend and he doesn't want to commit. And then we have just the three ladies. And then and then you have the lady that's looking to be married. So it was four women. And all four women are me.
Wow.
Wow.
All four women. I have went through all of those situations, every last one of them. So I literally woke up and could not breathe and was like, "You know better than this. You remember that last scream that you did when your father he was going to, start to beat you guys again." And I believe that was the last time when I did this large scream because I wasn't able to breathe then at the dinner table. And he was trying to get to my mom, and he didn't realize he was pushing up against me because he was in back of me. So I was losing my breath. And once he backed up, I screamed. And I couldn't breathe. And I thought about that and the last relationship and said, "You know what? I'm going to write a movie called Breathe Again." So I had Breathe Again 1 and Breathe Again 2. It was a continuation. Yeah. So the women, my cast members are like, "Are you going to do 3?" And these women, they never acted. They never acted before. My daughter's in it. She's one of the ladies that my daughter played. One of my granddaughters actually.
Wow.
Playing a daughter. And it's the other people were from different academy schools that wanted to. But you always just keep in mind, everybody want to be a part of something.
Yeah.
And they understood that this was not about me. This was about all of us. This is about all of us coming together and making something happen, and also putting a message out there. Because these were stories. These was actually stories about these women. You will see yourself in one of these stories. One of these women, you will see yourself in Breathe Again. You absolutely will see yourself. So we're actually Breathe Again 1 and 2 are going to be on a stream platform coming soon, because I have a podcast tomorrow about it. So it's going to be on a streaming service so you can start your membership. So one of the actors, he's starting this in a DMV called Stream DMV, and he chose 5 people, and he chose my 2 movies.
Wow. You got to share that with us. Information.
You got to share with us. Why night, Renee? Why night?
Yes.
We got to watch the movies.
So he's going to actually start it, I guess, within May, because he got me all locked down on the NDA right now. So
oh yeah, I know how that is.
So he's going to be streaming them soon. So you guys will be able to see them in May. Breathe Again 1 and Breathe Again 2.
Okay, cool. Exciting.
Yeah.
Was this your first directing and producing project that you've done?
Yes, I did that actually on my own. Well, I'm not a videographer. That I'm not. I'm not a videographer. But it's weird. I was at Merritt Athletic Club, and it was a gentleman that came in there, and he was just not really being fresh, but just saying hi to me, and was asking me. He was like, "I don't know why, but I just think you do something." What? I just think you do something. I think you somebody important. What do you do? So I'm thinking, is this a line he's trying to hit on me? Don't mess with me right now, because I just started breathing. I don't want it right now. But he was a director also, and he had a videographer that was in PA, and he connected us. So he's Cali Vision. He brought his friend down from PA to come, and he's the videographer for Breathe Again 1 and Breathe Again 2. So once I did those, I decided to write 2 TV pilots that are not out yet, but they're finished. Called Billions Empire, which my husband plays himself.
Okay.
He plays himself. So he's saying we're releasing them this year. He don't care because they're done. We're releasing him this year. He's ready to start acting. This would be his first acting year. He's really good. We did a reading and he did very well.
Wow.
He's playing himself as he's like a producer, and also he has a talent agency, and it's called Billions Empire. So he's playing Frank Billions.
Okay.
And he has a wife that's in the service. That you never get to see. You never get to see her, but he's doing all this work and trying to make all this money, so she can get out of the service. But she's never going to get out the service, so you'll never see her. But you'll start seeing talent. I have like different talent, like actual talent that is going to be doing music. There. So that's a TV pilot that's going to become. We're going to try, stream it on my husband's platform, Airy TV. APTV Live actually is his platform that will be streaming Billions Empire and the dating game. We're going to stream the dating game.
Oh, that sounds like fun. The dating game.
The dating game. I'm looking for a lady. That's why I haven't released it yet, because she has to be fired. That's the only thing that I'm looking for is the lady, because the gentleman in the dating game, they've been together for 3 years, and she just know he's going to marry her, and he's not ready to marry her. So he invites her out for dinner. Lunch. And she's like, well, he never invites me to lunch, so I think he's going to propose. She invites her family and tell them to be all in the background and don't say anything because she thinks he's going to propose. He's actually letting her know that he's not ready. And she gets embarrassed, and her family is there. He's like, why would you invite your family out to lunch? She was like, why would you invite me to lunch in the middle of the day that you never do that? And you say you got to speak to me about something important. He was like, because you keep talking about marriage, and I wanted to let you know that I love you. I love you, and I want us to be together right now, but I'm not ready for forever. Oh, she gets him back on some really big stuff. So he's an artist, and he's actually the guy that's going to stream DMV. He's going to play, he's a rock star. So she's going to buy out his whole show, and he's going to have to perform for her. So that's how it's going to start. Oh, yeah, she's going to get him back. She's going to buy out every ticket in his show and make him perform for her. Yeah.
Wow. That's some bad stuff.
Yeah. So it's called the dating game. It is. It seems like it is a game. You're dating. It just seems like games in the beginning until you really get to know the person. So that's why I called it dating games.
I like it. I can't wait. I like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're gonna start filming it because my husband, he's ready. He's like, we need
I bet he is.
We need to do this. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm like, babe, we're just releasing the Comfies for Me, and we still gotta, do the other 2 books. And he's like, but they already written. What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
So I'm looking for the girl. I'm looking for the one lady. Once I find this special lady, because she has to be fired. Because she's a boss. This lady is a boss. She's able to, and she never, do her wealth around like, he wasn't with her because she, was well off, but she's well off. She's well off that she's going to buy out his whole
clearly
and then tell him, do your job.
Yeah. Wow. So,
and if he doesn't perform for her, he actually will have to pay her back the money. Yeah. Because in a contract, you have to perform. Or give her back the money.
I like that.
Yeah. Yep. Taking matters into your own hands. I like that.
Yes.
Yep. I do notice, and I admire the fact that you and your husband are such a team and a power couple. I was just talking to my friends. I'm in a new relationship, and my partner, like Frank, helps me set up everything, cleans up the background, closes the door, takes the dog out. And he's like, okay, you're ready. Go ahead. And like brings me coffee. And it's just so nice to have someone so supportive and so, in the same vibration. And I just wanted to acknowledge that. And I just wanted to ask you a little more about that, if you're willing to share with us. Having a partner that's so supportive.
Love.
COVID love.
Yes. We met during COVID in 2020, and we got married in 7 months.
Wow.
And
that worked, didn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. COVID love.
Yeah, call it COVID love. I was like, oh my gosh, next thing I know, 7 months, and we were married at the Ritz-Carlton.
Woo!
And how is it with someone that works in the industry and that's so supportive?
Right. Yeah, you really have to be with someone that at least does do what you do, because I remember it was like prior to COVID, my husband sent me a DM about his platform, his show called APTV Live. And I guess he was looking for a hostess. So me personally, I Google everyone. Like I said, if people want to know something about me, I'm like, Google me. But I Google and I try to find out information about them. So when he sent me the message, I was like, no, I didn't respond for a whole year, actually.
Wow.
Good for you, girl. Good for
I didn't
you.
respond.
Make him taste.
Yeah, we actually was talking about this on this little TV show that we were doing. He was like, yeah, she didn't talk to me she ignored me. But he really was looking, he said he was really looking for someone to host. I don't believe you, but
Know what we're calling it now?
Well, whatever he did, it worked.
No, sir.
So then then a year later, he came back in my DM again. I was like, is that the same guy? And I actually replied to him, and he said to me, I just want to let you know you're destined to be mine.
Whoa.
Okay.
Confident. Sound very confident.
So yeah. So we got married. We got married. And it's definitely it's beautiful. But you have to be with someone that love what you do and that's going to support you into what you're doing. Because if you have someone that's like, oh, she's working again, because he knows when I wake up, I wake up with work on my mind.
Yeah.
And sometimes he has to stop because he's like, baby, hello, don't forget about love. Hello, love. Don't forget about love. Us.
You gotta nourish it as well.
Yes.
We gotta pay bills, baby. No romance without finance. Yeah.
I ask him all the time when someone asks him, oh, I need you to, I want you to get my record played or do that. How much they paying?
That's love.
How much
That's love.
He knows all the time. I want to know how much are they paying?
Yeah.
For you to go, yes, you need to know. I'm looking at my grandkids. To be honest, I want to leave them something. My grandkids. Right now that I was talking to my granddaughter about comfies, a junior line for comfies. And I say you're gonna run that. You're gonna run your junior line. She's 13 years old. You're gonna run that now.
I love that. Planting that seed.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Letting them know that it's possible and they can take matters into their own hands and they can start businesses and be ambitious and yeah, that's amazing. That's incredible.
And I can't stand when somebody say, oh, money ain't important. Oh no, money is up there with oxygen because you don't know you need it until you don't have it. Money is important. Yeah. It's a vehicle for lifestyle and it helps you. Freedom.
Absolutely.
Like my grandson is 7 and he's going on 8 and he draws. And when people want pictures and stuff, you're charging. You sign it and you're charging.
Yes.
$5. So when his dad wants his picture, Daddy, you gotta give me $5. So he's charging for his paintings, his pictures now. Sign it, date it, and charge.
That's right. And put that in his account.
Oh yeah, Yeah. Jacob has more money than I do. So, and little Corey. But yeah. So he said, and I told him next year we're going up $10. So
yeah, exactly.
Inflation.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. As bread is going up, Jacob's right. Yeah, if bread is going up.
That's right.
And not today's dollar. So if bread is going up, Jacob, your paintings are going up, your pictures are going up. So I told him, I said, when you go to the market with your mom, ask her, is bread going up, Mom? If it's going up, your picture's going up.
Absolutely. I always tell my husband, last year's price is not today's price.
Right.
No,
how much is gas? Gas here is what? $7? Almost $7.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna be taking up this speed.
That's right. But you have to put that in consideration when you even go into appointments. You have to put that gas in consideration. Like, oh, let me see. All right. So I charge this for that. Let me add that gas into it. This is how much it's going to cost. I mean, hey, you can't go for free. Your gas.
I ain't gonna beg them.
Free.
Yeah. Because almost $7. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then guess what? Uber is going up too because they starting to charge with a surcharge. So it's like,
oh yeah.
It's like, I gotta stay in the house. I can't go to the
We're just doing Zoom for everything.
Yeah.
Well, Perez, I do, back to my original point, I do want to congratulate you for your marriage.
Yes.
It's beautiful, the support that you have. And You can tell you guys have a beautiful energy. So
yeah,
that's
he's
incredible.
such my cheer. He always say, "Oh my gosh," he thinks he's my cheerleader, but I always say I'm his cheerleader. But he really is. He want to make sure that he always say, "Baby, I want you to win," and then he says, "You know what? I want us to win. I want us to win." But he always makes sure that I'm good in everything that I do. He makes sure he promotes it, makes sure he helps me with it. He looks over it first before I put it out there. He's definitely. I thought he was going to be
leader. I thought he was on the podcast. I was like, wait a minute, leading ladies, leading husbands. Yeah, because he was in the screen before you were. I'm like, wow.
Leading husbands. I like that.
Say, pull up a chair, Frank. Pull up a chair. Yeah. Leading husband and leading wives. I mean, leading ladies and leading men.
Yes. Yeah. Love that.
But I want
to make sure it's good.
Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I was gonna say we were talking about interviewing men who support women at one point, so that might
be the first one.
Might have to. Yep, we might have.
He gonna be the first one because he got some. He probably going his fifth book by then, Joe.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, look, that's next month we're gonna have it, right?
I love that.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, I got my fifth book." Yeah, I'm like, "What? Yeah, like 3 weeks ago you had the one."
Oh my goodness. So we are running out of time.
Oh my goodness. I can do this all day with you, Paris.
Me too.
Oh, this was so much fun.
Oh my goodness. So just a few quick questions, kind of rapid fire style. And then after that, we just want to ask you what do you have going on? I mean, you have tons of things going on. But what's the next thing that we need to look out for?
What we need to look out for?
What does it mean to be passionate to you?
Oh my gosh. I would say,
get it prepared, Joe.
Respectful. Being respectful. Just being respectful. That's really important to me. When you're being passionate, being honest. Okay. Being honest, being truthful, being respectful. That is what I feel when I think about passion. Really.
Yes. Respect. Yeah, respect is everything.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Honesty is always for me is the best.
Honesty, yes.
Because I always think so when if you're not being honest with something, then you gotta lie about something. Guess what? You gotta cover up that lie for another lie. So just being honest and true and respectful. Yeah. And that passion actually comes out.
Definitely.
Within who you are.
Oh, yes. What Maya Angelou say? When someone shows you who you are, who they are,
believe them.
Believe them.
Believe them. Believe them.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. This has been so. I can't put words to it, but I want to thank you. You got my juices going. Oh. And I ain't gonna go out and run though, but I'm just ready to take on the rest of the day. Yeah. So I just want to thank everyone for tuning in for this week's episode. And again, thank you, Paris, for tuning in and just picking the gems, sharing the knowledge and not just keeping it to yourself. Also having a book that people can, as a reference for those for the next gen and even present that would like to write their own book. So for, I just want to say for more content, collab pictures, nominees, you can reach out to us on Instagram. That's HEEP Ent, HEEP_ent, or you can email us as heepentertainment@gmail.com to get, if you want to get information about Joe, get information about Paris's book, feel free to reach out to us just to get some more knowledge. And just reach out to our team just to continue to get knowledge that we put out there for everyone to have access to. We just want to share knowledge. So I just want to thank everyone for tuning in this week. Thank you, Joel, for hosting with me. And again, thank you, Paris.
Thank you, guys. It's been amazing. Thank you.
Much love.
And continue to be leading ladies that you are.
Oh, thank you. All right.
So, Paris, give us your handles where people can reach out to you.
Well, you can go to www.pariscrose.com, which is my website. Also, www.facebook.com. I'm Paris C. Rose on Facebook. And on Twitter, I am Rosetta_JEJE on Twitter. And also on Facebook, Paris C. Rose, Voices of Women, and Blueblack Tears as well. All this is on Facebook. So those are my handles. But
Wonderful.
definitely you can get everything from www.percyrose.com.
Well, there you have it.
Excellent.
Thank
You so
you.
much.